Hello, Mom and Dad, Me World. So I'm over here with this MacBook Pro right here and April behind me, and we are doing a little bit of traveling. We are out and about where portability is key with a MacBook, but then there are some situations where you just need that brute force, that brute power, where the heat and the battery life just really don't matter in the form of a Mac Studio. So let's talk about that right now. Hello, Mom and Dad Meet World. So this right here is the M2 Mac Mini. The M2 Mac Mini has been a darn awesome computer right here. It has done pretty much everything I have needed it to do and then some. This is a very powerful desktop for what it is, even with this being the base model. So 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage. Now the storage doesn't really matter as much on a desktop model because you can attach external storage to that, like I have done with this computer. But it was only in things where I needed just a little bit more power, a little bit more performance, where I actually decided that I was actually using the M4 Mac Studio, and we were actually using that for quite some time, and we actually ended up getting that at Best Buy, and I thought it was a really darn good computer. But I said for that little bit extra, I wanted to go with the unbin version. So going from 36 gigs of RAM to 48 gigs of RAM, yes, we could have custom configured that to another, even all the way up to 128 gigs of RAM, but we just stuck with the 48 gigs of RAM. And then we actually wanted that extra GPU and extra CPU, those extra cores. And the reason being is we are using Sony's Catalyst Browse for stabilization, and it was one of those things where I actually needed those clips stabilized, and quite a few clips stabilized very quickly. And with this I could just put on in the background. It could do so, but to stabilize clips like that, it took a very long time, put a lot of pressure on the computer, but the computer never got hot, never actually heard the fans on this. But then on the M4 Max, that base model that we did use temporarily, it did the job very well. So this right here behind me is the M4 Mac Studio. Haven't even unboxed it, but the only reason we upgraded to this was just wanted to get that job done a little bit quicker, a little bit faster, or should I say a lot faster, with this being the M4 Max processor and it being unbinned on the CPU and the GPU, and having that little bit more RAM. So a lot more RAM than this model right here, the base model. 8 gigs, 48 gigs on that one. So the configuration we went, that is the only thing we did. We got it directly from Apple. They did not have the unbinned option from our local Best Buy, so we ended up getting it directly from Apple. That is the only upgrade we made for the M4 Max. We selected the base model and then just upgraded the CPU GPU, which automatically bumps up the RAM. We kept storage at 512 gigs of storage because this has 256 gigs of storage, and 512 is very much so enough. That is what we use on our MacBook Pro and our MacBook Air. So 512 gigs tends to be the sweet spot, as long as you are not doing a lot or storing a ton of projects on there, which if you have external storage, definitely put those on your external storage as like a backup. We've got dual 28 terabyte, not gigabyte, 28 terabyte redundancy for those project files. So we decided to go with this M4 Mac Studio unbinned directly through Apple. And I think if you have more power needs, more performance needs, if time is money, then maybe investing in just that little bit higher spec, getting that M4 Mac Studio may be the right move for you. We did not get the M3 Ultra Mac Studio because, well, there is some performance difference when you go from the M4 Max to the M3 Ultra that we have done in the past with stabilization. However, the cost was quite a bit, and then if we wanted to get that unbinned, we are in used car territory. So just a short video, just wanted you to know that I switched over from the M2 Mac Mini to the M4 Mac Studio. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and until next time, thanks for watching. Bye for now.